Telling time to half hour instruction. Hello, my name is Sarah. Thank you for joining me for this lesson. In this lesson, we are going to learn how to tell time to the half hour. You will need a whiteboard or a piece of paper and something to write with. Let's get started. If you remember, when we look at a clock face, there are two hands. We have the hour hand. The hour hand is the shorter hand, and it does not usually reach all the way to the numbers. When we count the hours, we actually say the numbers that are on the clock face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The other hand, the longer hand, is the minute hand. The minute hand is the one that usually will touch the numbers. When we count with the minute hand, we're counting by fives. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and then the next number would be 60, but up at the 12, we'll use 2 zeros, and that's where we say o'clock. When we write the time for this clock face, we'll start by looking at the hours. The hour hand is the short one, pointing to the 6. Then the minute hand, the blue hand, is pointing up to the 12. When it points to the 12, we put 2 zeros. Remember, we need to put the colon in between to show that we're talking about time. The time on this clock is 6 o'clock. This is time to the nearest hour. We're going to learn how to tell time to the nearest half an hour. Half means it's cut into 2 pieces. So the difference in this first clock face, it's pointing to the 12. Here, it's pointing straight the opposite direction, down to the 6. This is half an hour. When you talk about half an hour, it's 30 minutes in one half an hour, 30 minutes in the second half an hour. It's like if you cut this clock in half. We're going to learn how to tell time. The first thing we're going to do is always look at the hour hand. This is our hour hand. You may notice it's a little different than where this one is pointing. In the first one, it's pointing straight to the 6. On the second clock face, it's in between 6 and 7. The hour hand is between 6 and 7, and that's what makes it a little more difficult to tell which number to use for the hour. When the hour hand is between 2 numbers, just like it is here, between the 6 and the 7, you always go to the number that's behind it, which in this case is 6. So the time here is 6. The minute hand, we're not going to say 6, even though it's pointing to the 6. The big hand, the minute hand, remember we need to count by fives. So let's count by fives, starting up here at the 1. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. If the minute hand is pointing down to the 6, we're going to put 30, because 30 is half of 60. So the time on this clock is 6:30. The hour hand is between the 6 and the 7. We always go to the number before it, and when we count by fives at the bottom, pointing to 6, that minute hand means it's 30. Let's take a look at another example. Let's take a look at this clock face. What time does this clock face show? We're going to look at the hour hand first. The hour hand is between 1 and 2. When it's between 2 numbers, it always goes to the one behind it. So it will go to 1. So our hour is 1. Then we need our colon. Then the minute hand is pointing down to the 6. When we get to the 6, we need to count by fives. Let's count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Because it's the minute hand, we count by fives. So that means that we're going to put the number 30 here. So the time on this clock is 1:30. Well done. Let's try another one. I'm going to give you a few moments now to write the time that this clock face shows. What time does this clock show? We'll first take a look at the hour hand, which is between 11 and 12. We're going to pick the number that is behind the hour hand, which is 11. Then we need our colon. And then I see that the minute hand is pointing to the 6. When we count by fives, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'll put 30. So the time this clock shows is 11:30. Well done. Let's try another one. What time does this clock show? It's between the 9 and the 10. I always go to the number behind it, which is 9. I'll add the colon to separate. Then I look at the minute hand. It's pointing down to the 6. I count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 9:30. Well done. Let's do one more. What time does this clock show? This clock shows 3:30. The hour hand is between 3 and 4, so it goes to the one behind it, which is 3. The minute hand is pointing to the 6, and when we count by fives, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, we'll put 30 for the minutes. Well done. Be sure to check your work. In this lesson, we practice how to tell time to the half hour. Thank you for following along.